All right, welcome back. It's that time, year in review 2020, where I'm going to go through and offer just some random insight and commentary on the highlights of this past year's sports card pickups. And I've got most here, not all, but I've got enough. So we'll start off with this Max Scherzer Gold, and these aren't in any particular order of acquisition either. I just kind of threw them all in a little box here. So 2008 update and highlights Gold. Happy to have this. I'm a big fan of the gold cards. If you follow my channel, you probably know that. And we have this one is kind of, I think I described this next one as a tweener because it's Cody Bellinger. It's 2016 Bowman Chrome. It's a gold refractor numbered to 50. But it's not his, excuse me, it's not his official rookie card from like 2017, nor is it his first Bowman card from 2015. So kind of an odd, I don't know how you would look at this card. I mean, it's not a rookie. It's a nice card. That's why I picked it up. Early in the year, this was pre-pandemic, this one in particular. Actually, is a batch in here that I picked up before things got crazy. All right, so I just showed this one. I'm not going to spend too much time with Jackie. It was a pickup from this year. That was in my last episode of Friday Night Vintage. And then here's another one I picked up early on, the Pete Alonso. It's probably come down a bit since I did acquire it. I think I paid around $2.25 for it. I think it might be somewhere around $125 or $150 maybe. The purple refractor, numbered to, I believe it's $250 for these purples nowadays. And he was featured in the, I think, the Friday Night Filth episode where I just focused on Bowman Chrome colored refractors several months ago. Okay, up next. I like this card quite a bit. The 2013 Topps Heritage Bryce Harper with the Rookie Cup logo. Just a nice looking card. I'm a big believer of Bryce Harper and hope he keeps it going next year. Puts up another good season. All right, so another card. You just saw this last month. This Munson from '76, and all right, another gold. So this was one of two cards that I purchased right as the late in early March, where the pandemic thing really kicked in. I was like, oh crap! I thought I paid top of the market for it, and maybe I did. This one I think it was like $400 card, and it went up. So what happened? Actually was the opposite of what I thought would happen in regards to sports card prices. I think a lot of people agree. Things just went off the rails price-wise. This one shot up to around, I think, $600 or $700 at one point. A few months later, it's come back since. I think my last check had it under a $400 card. This gold Arenado from 2013 Topps Update. So, pretty crazy times. Grabbed the Piazza a few months ago. Flare Update Rookie. Probably go after the Bowman at some point. This one's a little bit tougher to get, and it's not as common as the 92 Bowman, which is more popular. Picked up the 90 Leaf. I mean, talk about crazy rides. I bought this card. It was like $200 card. I think like 2 days later, it was selling for $400, but now it's come back down to, I think, around $200. So somebody might have said something about this card, and then it caused it to spike. All right, 2013 Topps Chrome. It's a nice Trout card. This is the sliding photo here, and it's got the Rookie Cup logo. It's a refractor. This was a pretty good buy for me. This one sent me back, I think, around $150 or so. Again, earlier this year, pre-pandemic. Big difference between pre-pandemic and pandemic pricing. Another one here. Another gold card, Verlander, first ballot Hall of Famer, in my opinion. Hard to argue. 2005 Topps Gold. For about a half a minute, I was considering pulling the trigger on the PSA 10 version of this. It was like $675, and then I blinked and it was gone. And they're very difficult to find, these Topps Gold cards and those high grades. Here's one that I'm not quite sure of the value. I think I paid around, I don't remember what I paid, somewhere like $200, maybe around $300 or so, plus or minus, for this Freeman Gold a few months back. It's probably ticked up somewhat. He won the MVP since, and maybe he's starting to get a little more hobby recognition. I don't know. Just a great player. 2011 Topps Gold. Freddie Freeman. Okay, here's a, you can file this one under the glad I bought it when I did. 85 Topps Puckett. So this card was around, I think it was a sub $300 card when I had it in my watch list, and I just never got around to clicking the buy it nows or getting it on auction for one. And then it crept up, and I think I jumped in when it was around 375. So I think that's what I got this for, somewhere around there. Just a great looking card. 85 Topps cards are really tough to get in PSA 10. All right, so here's a Kobe. So if you are a regular viewer, you know I'm trying to put together the Topps Chrome Kobe run. I finally grabbed this one, and this one sent me back about $150, which I guess is a bargain. Now, I've kind of given up hope on going for the 2009. I mean, I still have it in my watch or saved searches. Just a 2009 Topps Chrome PSA 9. You just never see them. And when they show up, they're just, I think the last one I saw was like $500. I don't want to pay that for that card. Pre-tragedy, I remember passing on a 4 Sharp Corners PSA 9 refractor version of that card for $240. And of course, would have, could have, should have, didn't. Here we are. So anyway, I have my eyes out for a Kobe. That might have to be one of those. I might actually have to go to a show or something where there's lots of cards available and lots of vendors, and maybe somebody would have that in a PSA 9, the 2009 Topps Chrome. That would finish out my run. I got this Zion, just a Donruss base. I like the image on this one. I think it costs like a couple, $175. I think is what seems familiar to me for that one. And okay, here's the Pete Rose recently acquired Rose card, which I just talked about not that long ago. All right, so here's another one I picked up early in the year. This was a Bowman. It's a Whitey Ford rookie, and at the time I was actively shopping around for a Whitey Ford rookie. Somewhere in my budget was for something that would have got me like around a PSA 6 at that time. Not anymore, but I came across this one, and I just love the centering on it, and it's a 2. And I paid PSA 3 pricing for it when I got it. And this was one of those deals where I recognized the seller, and I knew he had a store, like an online presence or an actual physical store location. So I reached out directly to them, and I got this for a little bit less money and, of course, saved on the sales tax. So this one was $300. That's what this one cost. So I think it's a pretty good buy. I know there are more now. I think PSA 2s sell for maybe a little bit more than $300 these days. Okay, another recent pickup. Nothing, probably the lowest value pickup currently, but it's the Sabathia Rookie. Just the Topps traded, flagship PSA 10. The Chrome would be the better, sort of more aggressive purchase as far as if you're concerned about future value growth and things like that. That'd be the one to get. I like the base tops. I just like the way they look. Okay, here's a Pete Rose card that I won't spend too much time on. All right, Cody Bellinger. So Topps Gold. This was not cheap. I bought this on the decline. These have been selling for well in excess of $1,000, and an eBay seller had this, and he kept dropping his price. And I'm into it for about $1,000. It might be even less than that now. There actually was a sale for this very card that was mislabeled, and that might have turned a lot of people off. I think it was the gold card, but it didn't say gold on the flip, and that went for around $700. So. It's the off season. There's not much really to make this card sort of rise or fall unless somebody blurbs about it on a Twitter or something. But anyway, I like it quite a bit. So hopefully he has a nice rebound year. I'm big on Cody Bellinger. He's got a great tool set, and hopefully stays healthy. And also grab this. Now this one actually has not moved, so might not be a bad buy now because Ichiro cards will go up as the chatter starts increasing regarding the Hall of Fame. And this one sent me back around 2.25, and I believe it's still 2.25, maybe a little less. The Star Rookie and a PSA 10 Ichiro. Back when Pujols was sort of struggling and no one really cared about him, a few years ago he was like injured a lot. You could buy the star rookie Pujols for like 70, $80 in a PSA 10. I don't know what they go for now, like a few hundred. So, all right, here was another pre-pandemic purchase, and glad I got it when I did. It's my Cobb T206 Red Portrait, and this is a 1, but it's a 1 because of the clutch paper loss on this card. And by clutch, I'm meaning it's buried within the white border, so you can't really tell unless you look really close. Otherwise, it's very clean, and I'm very happy with this. This is my kind of PSA 1. Short of a pinhole, this thing looks, it's just as good as it's going to get for a 1. And I was looking at the bat off, and it's still kind of on my fringe, I guess my fringe want list. And there was some aggressive bidding, again, pre-pandemic, so it wasn't even crazy yet. But the bat off in a PSA 2, I think I put in what I thought was a nonsense bid, and I got someone just, outbid me. It went for like $3,200. It was a gorgeous 2. I think I topped out at like $2,800 at the time. But anyway, it is what it is. You win some, you lose some. So the Cobb bat off. A lot of vintage cards, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I might just have to, well, I guess I just don't know. Anyway, moving on. Glad to have gotten this one, this nice crisp Roberto Clemente. I believe this was. I only did 2 Friday Night Vintage episodes this year. One like 2 weeks ago, and then one 8 months ago. And this was in the one 8 months ago. And this was another purchase that I from an eBay seller that I knew had a actual a store, online store. And so once again, I reached out. I believe his ask on this was $550, and I want to say I agreed to $480. So I saved $70 and I saved Connecticut sales tax, so it was a win-win for me. And it looks really nice. I mean it looks like it could almost be an 8, so I'm not quite sure what the issue is here. Maybe a little bit off center, left to right, which is pretty common, at least for me anyway. So Roberto Clemente, 71 tops, and there's a few more 71s. I really like that set. It's growing on me. So I'm targeting the Reggie Jackson, and maybe like the Hank Aaron or the Willie Mays, something like that. I like the 71s. I've got a few, so I might want to add to that next year. Here's a 69 tops Reggie Jackson rookie that I picked up in an economical 7.5 grade. 7.5 is when you want something that is a little higher end, a little more higher end than a 7, but you don't want to pay the price of an 8. This is the way to go. And I think 8s at the time were like around $1,400, and this one I picked up for $770. I put it in my watch list, and not long after I got like a offer. So the guy wanted to move the card, and so I said, all right, I'll take it for that price, because it was listed I think for $8.99 or something. Yeah, just a nice Reggie rookie. Always wanted this card growing up, too. It's like one of those cards you had to have. You can only dream about owning. Reggie. And then... All right, so this card has the distinction of being the card... All right, so right around early March, I had purchased... And I've told this story. If you weren't paying attention, I'll tell it again. I purchased the 1997 Ultra David Ortiz in the PSA 10. I received it... And there was like little chips along the edge, and I was not happy with that being a 10, and so I returned it. The guy ended up reselling it. First, he blocked me from bidding on his auctions. I don't blame him. And then he resold it for like the same money. It was like $500, which I thought was crazy money at the time. And now they go for over double that. And it seems like the only eBay seller that has Ortiz rookies is PWCC. He's got like 3 of them up there right now, I think. I won't buy from him. So I think that Ortiz card is going to be a really nice card to own. I think he's going in the Hall of Fame. I think, I don't know, the steroid thing, I know there's always been suspicion, but you can say that about a lot of guys. It was never proven. And he's just a good guy. So anyway, so I bought that, I returned it, and I took that money and I turned it into this. And this actually cost more. This was $600. And then, during the hype, it went up to like around $700, $800, $900. Then it dropped back down to like, I think, 5.5. And I think now it's settled in around 6 or so. I haven't checked lately. But at Zion, people talk about, well, Panini, there's like, the pop on the 10s now. They make so many more of these cards that, they shouldn't be, it's inflated values. It's not justified. But the way I look at it is, even though there's, say 20,000 more of these than there are of the 2013 Giannis, for example. I think there's that and many more additional people in the market looking for this card. So, yes, the quantities are higher and much more significant, but there's also a lot more people in the market looking for this, I think. So, I don't think it's going to really impact the value. All it will do is dramatically increase, I think, the values of the previous years where the print runs were much lower, like the aforementioned, 2013 with Giannis. That's a much lower print run. Or even like the Anthony Davis rookie card, which I think is 2012. And that was a card that I was looking at. It was around $280, and then it went to 3,000, and it's like, I'll see you later. All right, so I'm down to my last two. I picked this one up, and this one hasn't moved either. This is a Miguel Cabrera rookie Topps Chrome PSA 10 that I got for around $500, and I think it's still worth around $500. But this will go up. This will be the card to own. This guy is the last guy to win the Triple Crown, probably for a while. Nice looking card too. So the Topps Chrome Miguel Cabrera, and then the last one here is the Joe Dimaggio, a PSA 2. Just sold on eBay for what I paid for this PSA 3.5. So the vintage card market is exploding, especially for recognizable, popular / iconic sports cards. Now, those are the graded things. And I also, probably the best $350 I spent this year might be on the multiple 1920 optic basketball that I purchased between the Cello box and the Hobby box. I got like a bunch of stuff. And out of that came, and I have to go through those rated rookies again, but I got the Zions here. This one won't go to PSA. That's too far off center. But I got a blue, and then I got this nice, I guess, pink one, and the Ja. So the Zion and the Ja were the hot cards. In fact, I pulled the pink Ja and the pink Zion from the same mega box, I think, which is like huge. But there's other guys in this set. Like there's Bo and Tyler Herro and I got all the rated rookies. I gotta anyway. When PSA gets their shit together and offers up a Collectors Club membership option again, that's when I'll jump in and send a bunch of cards off. So anyway, there you go. That's my 2020 year in review. And as far as resolutions or goals for next year, there's one card in particular. It's been on my list every year. That's a 34 Gaudi Lou Gehrig, card number 61. And yeah, I have a story about that, which I'll save for another day. Anyway, that'll do it. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you all later.